Today's class will discuss about relation between angular velocity and linear velocity. How the angular velocity omega is related to linear velocity. Let's see the relation. Let's simply draw a rigid body and a z-axis. This is z-axis, y-axis, of course this is x-axis, it's the origin, right? Next, let us consider a point P here, where this is a distance is r from the axis, which is called as a perpendicular distance from the axis. Of course, I can call it as axis of rotation. Right now, what is happening? Let us say P point is there. Now you can consider a P dash point. This is a distance R dash. Let us take consider as angle delta theta. Now here we are considering the 2 points. One is P and P dash. So in order to reach the point P to P dash, let us say a time is delta t, and there are so many particles are there. They are fixed particles. We are considering 2 particles. This is being rotated about the z-axis. This is the axis of rotation, and with the proper velocity called as angular velocity omega. How to define angular velocity omega and how to define linear velocity? Linear velocity means the tangent can be drawn at that particular point that describes the linear velocity v. So wherever you choose particular point, that you draw a tangent. Tangent means a line can be drawn touching to that point is called tangent. So the tangent direction indicates the linear velocity direction. Now how omega can be related? See that the average angular velocity we will write it as omega is equal to delta theta by delta t. So in a delta interval of t time, the angle of displacement delta theta. So you write it as radians per second is a unit for it, or radian per second inverse. As see here, the delta t, the time is suppose taken as less, almost approaches to 0. The limit of the delta t, the time interval reduces to 0, not equals to 0, but approaches to 0. Omega average, which is equals to omega instantaneous. How to write this one? Limit delta t tends to 0, delta theta by delta t is equal to d theta by dt, which is called as omega instantaneous angular velocity. This is. Here you observe that there is a circle can be drawn over here, because every circle of radius r, or if you choose other point, that point can be a r dash, and that is another circle. This is circle over here. Suppose if you choose this point like this one, like this is r dash, let us say, or r2, and this is another circle. So particle is experiencing circular motion, where the complete body, which is comprised of particles, experiencing rotation. That is the velocity is omega. What is the relation between the linear velocity v and angular velocity omega v is equal to r omega. So for whole body the angular velocity remains a constant as axis of rotation is not changed, but the different particles at the tangent can be drawn will have different velocities at different distances from the axis, that is a perpendicular distance from the axis. r1 omega v2 is equal to r2 omega, like v3 is equal to r3 omega, so on. Vn is equal to rn omega. So this is a simple relation between them. If r is equals to 0, if r is equals to 0, what happens? Then the linear velocity becomes 0, because r is equal to 0 means where you choose this one, this is a point or this is a point on the axis. If you choose that there is no perpendicular distance, then the linear velocity becomes 0. Now we refer that angular velocity which is for whole body, angular velocity for whole body. Here see that the simple direction of the angular velocity omega. So this is indicating that a clockwise direction, this is anti-clockwise direction. Just like if the head of a right-handed screw rotates with a body, the advances the direction of angular velocity omega. Then sense clockwise and anti-clockwise. What is this? This simply assumed to be clockwise, this is assumed to be anti-clockwise. Now let's see the simple analysis. Let us consider a distance r which is called as a perpendicular distance. Cp is equal to r which is called as perpendicular distance. Now we will draw a vector called as OP vector, which is written as r, which is called, let us say r1, let's say r1, right? Now at this particular point, if you draw a tangent can be drawn touching to this point, which is called as linear velocity. Now how to write angular velocity? So which is about z axis omega. How to write omega and how to write the linear velocity in terms of direction? Because angular velocity omega is vector, it is not scalar. It appears as a scalar, but which has direction, and magnitude also. Right. Here OP is equals to OC plus CP. OP is equal to OC plus CP. Now we will try to calculate what omega cross r. Omega cross r. What this omega? This is virtually omega and this is r. Of course angle is there, omega cross. How to calculate omega cross r? Omega cross r means OP, which is equal to OC plus CP. Right. Now if you elaborate it, suppose what with the omega cross OC plus omega cross CP. I will write it as omega cross OC is 0 plus omega cross CP. Now omega cross CP, what is this? CP is simply the distance is perpendicular distance omega cross are perpendicular distance. Now why I am writing this as 0? Simply understand it. Which is the direction? Omega is there in this direction and OC is there. What is the angle? Theta is equal to 0. Then omega cross OC, when the vectors are like both are parallel or anti-parallel, the cross product becomes 0. So that's what this is becoming 0. So this is actually perpendicular to the plane of omega and r perpendicular distance. What is this? This is an x-axis, this is like z-axis, perpendicular to the plane which is there, v is there. Now suppose EC is equal to A cross B, then AB is containing a plane. Now perpendicular to that, what happens? C is a vector. C has a direction perpendicular to plane of A and B. C, right? Similarly, we will write it is here V is equal to omega cross R. Omega cross R. Now how to define angular acceleration alpha. Basically in the linear motion we will see that velocity can be v. The linear motion velocity can be v. In the rotational motion, which is omega. In the linear motion we say the displacement is x. We will write it as here theta. This is angle or angular displacement. This is angular velocity, where we have defined all the kinematic equations and variables in the last chapters. A similar concept, suppose this is an axis of rotation, where a body like rotating about an axis omega, but after changing time t, omega might be changing, means rapidly going fast, maybe slowing down, maybe an angle change value omega to omega dash is there in a time interval t or delta t. Now how to write? Generally average acceleration, it is a time rate of angular velocity, because we are describing or dealing with the angular, then alpha is equal to delta omega by delta t. This is average angular acceleration. We are directly going to the point where alpha is equals to angular acceleration, alpha is equals to d theta by d omega by dt. So what is that? Time, it's a time rate of change of angular velocity. Time rate of change of angular velocity. What you can expect that alpha has units of radians per second square, where omega has unit of radian per second, right? Now we'll develop the equations, kinematic equations as well. Now how to deal the equation of the motion of the bodies where the bodies are rotating about a fixed axis. Generally in the translational motion we have seen that the linear displacement is x and linear velocity v, and linear acceleration is a, and x naught is the initial displacement at a time t. These are the very familiar physical quantities or variables that we had seen in the kinematics of 3rd chapter and dynamics of 4th chapter. Now here when the body is rotating about a fixed axis, then what is that angular velocity is needed. If the omega is changing, then alpha is there. And how to change the, suppose initial angle is theta and final angle is theta dash, or initial angle at time theta t is equal to 0, then this is theta naught, and at a time t this is theta. Similar, all variables we will consider and will solve the equation. How? Suppose a fan is rotating about a fixed shaft like axis, and as the fan is rotating, suddenly power is switched off. What happens? It decelerates. Slowly the number of rotations in second can be gradually or slowly decreasing. Finally it comes to halt. So when comes to halt means what is the final displacement, like angular displacement? Theta is equals to 0. When it is being accelerated means very fastly moving around it, and velocity will be changing time to time, then alpha is positive. When it is decreasing the angular velocity time to time, alpha can be negative. Same the situation where the all the parameters are taken in the one dimensional. This is rotational, this is linear, this is rotational. How to solve the equations and all that? We had seen simply final velocity which is equals to initial velocity v naught plus at. We had seen this is a linear. There is a simple analogy between a linear to rotational. In place here v with changed as omega, angular velocity is equal to initial angular velocity plus alpha into t here. And the second equation of motion, theta minus theta naught is equals to, sorry, here in place of this one, x minus x naught is equals to v naught t plus half alpha a t square, that is the linear. We will write it as similarly, theta minus theta naught is equal to omega naught t plus half alpha t square. Only alpha with, only a with alpha and y naught with omega naught, x with theta and x naught with theta naught. Time remains as same. Don't consider the time for rotation as different, time as same as a linear and as well as rotational. Another set of equation of motion, v square minus v naught square is equal to 2a minus x naught. How to see in the rotational? So omega square minus omega naught square is equal to 2 alpha theta minus theta naught. Here linear displacement, this is angular displacement. These are the simple equations of motion. So these are the specific variables that we have already discussed. Now let us consider this is a rigid body and there are several points are there. Now this is a one point chosen to be p naught, initial point, right? When you are choosing particularly initial point, this is a circle we can discuss, we can draw a circle, a point p is there. Now from the axis, let us say a simple vector like we can draw this initial angle, already it is there, which is theta naught, which has been moving to a particular other point called as p naught to p. Then you can expect that within the same circle. Now what happens? P naught to p means if you draw other vector like this, now this is called as earlier theta naught, now this is called as theta, and angular velocity like omega, angular acceleration is alpha. The time has been changed to p naught to p, theta naught to theta, the time has been taken as t. How to obtain omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t? From the basic principles that already we had Now alpha is by the definition we have discussed it as d omega by dt. Now how to write this one? D omega is equal to alpha into dt. Now we will take integrating on both sides. Integrating on both sides. How to write that? The initial angular velocity omega naught to omega d omega is equal to alpha dt. Here the time limits are there. The initial time is t naught, which is 0 t naught to time t. Now how to write the integration of omega, which is d omega is called omega. Limits to be applied omega naught to omega. Then alpha is a constant. Now you write it as alpha outside, and integration 0 to t dt. Now applying the limits, omega minus omega naught is equal to alpha into t minus t 0 to t, because integration dt is a t. Omega minus omega naught is equal to alpha into t minus 0. Omega minus omega naught is equals to alpha into t. Omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t. This is a first equation. Similar way we will analyze and try. You can already same procedure we had seen in the third chapter. Theta minus theta naught is equal to omega naught t plus half alpha t square is other an equation, and omega square minus omega naught square is equal to 2 alpha t 2 alpha into theta minus theta naught. Sometimes theta naught might be 0. That depends on at t is equals to 0. So maybe theta naught 0, may not be 0. This is not the guarantee that t is equal to 0, theta naught is 0. Suppose a fan is already running, you start count time at that moment. So there is already number of revolutions are present by the fan. So theta naught cannot be 0 at that moment. Where the fan is at rest, you suddenly switch on the fan. That moment there were no revolutions or rotations made by the fan at that moment. When you are counting the time t is equal to 0, at that moment the theta naught can be 0. So there are the situations are there, we need to understand time to time. This is a simple problem where we apply the equations of motion. We will apply in a different way also. The angular speed of a motor, generally motor, fan will be having a simple velocities, increasing velocities, just like they are the examples of rotatory motion. Now the initial angular velocity 1200 rpm. Rpm means revolutions per minute. We will convert into radians per minute. Radians per minute, or we will consider on radians per second also. Then 1200 rpm to 3120 rpm in 16 seconds. In a small time it has been increased the speed, angular speed. What is its angular acceleration? Their angular acceleration alpha to be constant or uniform. How many revolutions does the engine make this 16 seconds time? Is 16 seconds, within the 16 seconds of time, how many revolutions have been completed within this duration? Then first we convert into omega naught. Initial angular velocity omega naught is given 1200 rpm, means revolutions per minute. Revolutions per minute we will consider and convert into radians per second. Means 1200, one revolution is equals to 2 pi radians per minute. per minute means per 60 seconds, radian per second. Now omega naught is equals to, now you can 60 into 20, 20 into 2, 40 pi radian per second. Similarly, omega is equals to 3120 rpm, which is 3120. One revolution is equal to 2 pi radians, one rotation per minute means per minute by minute 60 seconds. Now you can convert this one where omega, omega, this is omega, not omega naught. Omega is equals to, you can write it as 6010 and 6 5s 6 2s. Then what you will get it as 52 into 2 pi radian per second, which is equals to 104 radian per second. Now first, in the question it is asked that what is alpha. Omega is equals to omega naught plus alpha t. From this, alpha is equals to omega minus omega naught by t. What is this? Now here 104 pi. 104 pi minus 40 pi by 16. Now how do you write this? 100 minus 464 pi by 16, now which is called as 4 pi radian per second square. This is the first answer which is asked. Next, how many rotations completed during this time? Now what is that? Theta minus theta naught is equal to omega naught t plus of alpha t square. Now theta naught is not given, 0. Theta is equal to omega naught t plus of alpha t square. So this is a simple formula. We apply the values, we will get it. Theta is equal to omega naught. What is the omega naught? 40 pi into 16 plus of alpha. We have calculated 4 pi 16 square. Now we will write it and express it. Theta is equals to 640 pi 2 pi and 256 into 2, again 512 plus 640 1152 pi. This is angle. This is angle. Now we need to convert into rotations. To convert into rotations, just theta is equal to 1152 pi divided with 2 pi. This is called revolution. Now theta is equals to, how do you get? Simply 576 revolutions or rotations. So during the change of velocity 1200 to 3120 revolutions per minute in the 16 seconds, it has completed 576 rotations or revolutions. So cycles we can call it as, like in the during the velocity, this many solution rotations are completed. That is a question they asked. Similarly, we can practice more number of problems as we practice in the kinematics of equations, where the simple analogy is that where x with theta, where v with omega, where a with alpha, here time with the time, no change. Same formulas can be applied, but number of rotations can be asked here.